Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
After a days-long manhunt, a fugitive murderer has been captured nearly 2 hours away from where he first escaped. We'll show you where he was and who is charged with helping him.
In breaking news in Johnston County, a woman was found dead on US 70 early this morning. What authorities tell us about their investigation into the crash.
And weather-wise this morning, we are in good shape. Temperatures continue to heat back up. It should be okay, but then we are tracking some storms there for Sunday. We're going to walk through the timing on Futurecast coming up.
Vice President Kamala Harris is making a campaign stop in Raleigh today. What you need to know about today's event, including when you need to watch for traffic delays. A lot to tell you about here on this Friday morning. Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock. We're glad you're with us. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Chris Lovingood in for Jeff Hogan. The weekend has finally arrived. It's Friday.
We made it.
I know we made it. I'm excited about it, especially because this is a weekend we can get outside, at least for Saturday. We've got meteorologist Anthony Baglione getting you a look at your weather forecast.
Yeah, putting together this forecast made me happy because we have some really nice temperatures, especially into next week where we get into the low to mid 80s. Humidity continues to lower. Where we head for both today and tomorrow, it's still going to be a nice couple summer days. If you like lower humidity and temperatures about near 90, it should be good. Where we are starting off this morning, though, check out Rocky Mount and Goldsboro, even South Hill. You are almost in the 50s starting out this morning. 67 there rather in Raleigh and Durham, 67 in Fayetteville. We will climb up though to close to 90. I don't think we'll quite get there, but it comes with a lot of sunshine. No problems if you want to head for Friday dinner plans or just get your steps in today. You should be all right. Keep in mind though, along our coast with Hurricane Ernesto offshore, please don't go in the water. Make sure to check those flags out there. I anticipate high rip currents for probably the next couple days. We are looking at, though, back here at home, that next chance at some storms. We're going to talk about who could see some strong ones, though, Ken, coming up here in a few.
All right, it's 6:01, Anthony. You have a really quiet start to your morning commute this morning, especially if you're getting ready to head out this morning. If the Beltline is part of your morning commute, look at this on live traffic sensors showing no major issues to report. For those of you using the alternate route of I-540, similarly, delay-free this morning over in Durham and Chapel Hill and Hillsborough. All the major roads are delay-free this morning. Let's go ahead and take you outside and give you a live look at I-40 and Aviation Parkway. Those of you getting ready to head to the airport, traffic flowing nicely in both directions. You will get to the airport on time.
The big story as you're waking up this morning, the search for convicted murderer Ramon Alston is over. Around 2 this morning, authorities captured him at a hotel in Kannapolis, just outside Charlotte. WRAL's Monica Casey is live this morning at the Orange County Sheriff's Office. And Monica, the arrest brings an intense 3-day manhunt to an end.
More than 300 law enforcement members from 19 agencies were involved in this search. The FBI's Charlotte SWAT team, Charlotte Mecklenburg Police, and Kannapolis Police made this arrest about 2 hours away from here where Alston first escaped. We have dug into the timeline of Alston's escape, but now we're learning more about where he was when he was on the run. We spoke with an employee at the hotel where Alston stayed Wednesday night into Thursday. She tells WRAL's Chris Lovingood, Alston seemed like a typical guest with normal behavior, not at all agitated. She told us about the moment police showed up.
Police had found out that he had been here and it had been checked in under a female's name. And and it was quite crazy when they had gotten here. And then, I was told, and then she showed me who he was. And I was like, I actually talked to him.
Officials say Alston is now being taken to a high-security unit in the state prison system where he will resume his life sentence and face new charges for this escape. We have repeatedly heard law enforcement say over the course of this investigation that if you help Alston with his escape, you will be charged. And now someone has. Jacobia Crisp was arrested in Alamance County, charged with felony aiding and abetting a fugitive. Live in Hillsborough, Monica Casey, WRAL News.
And we're following more breaking news, this time in Johnston County. A woman was found dead on US 70 near Pine Level. I'm going to show you some video now from the WRAL breaking news tracker. It shows members of law enforcement investigating early this morning. Authorities say they found the dead woman laying on the highway after a tractor trailer driver reported a road hazard. Now, they say there's no evidence the truck actually hit the person, but we are working to find out more about the person who was killed and if authorities know how this happened.
Raleigh police say a woman is critically injured after she was hit by a car on Pool Road. The crash happened just after 9:30 last night near Beverly Drive. Video from the WRAL breaking news tracker shows the large police presence. Pool Road was closed between Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and Beverly Drive as officers investigated. We made phone calls to try and learn the condition of the woman who was hit and any charges the driver who hit her may face.
Today, Vice President Kamala Harris will be in Raleigh for a campaign stop. She's expected to propose some new economic policies, including some that target rising grocery bills. Let's go to WRAL's Kelsey Coffey. She's live at RDU this morning. Kelsey, the vice president is expected to arrive there a little after noon.
Chris, yes, so we're expecting to see Vice President Kamala Harris arriving here at RDU in just a few hours. As far as her speech for today, she's planning to talk about the economy. Today's visit comes just one day after President Biden joined her on the campaign trail for the first time. This visit is also on the heels of Donald Trump's recent campaign stop in Asheville. Harris is expected to talk about cracking down on the meat industry. She says that's to blame for higher grocery prices. This industry plays a major role in North Carolina's economy. Our state is the biggest poultry and egg producer in the country. Federal data shows North Carolina chicken farm sales tripled between 2019 and 2022. Here's a look at Harris's schedule for the day. She's set to arrive at RDU at 12:45 this afternoon. The campaign event is set to start at 2:45, but we're still working to confirm the location. She's then scheduled to fly back to D.C. just before 5 o'clock. So we'll have crews keeping you updated throughout the day on what's going on, both on air and online at WRAL.com. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live at RDU.
Tomorrow, former President Donald Trump will be in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, for an event. This will be the second time he has been back to the state since the assassination attempt on his life in Butler. Harris will also visit Pennsylvania this weekend. She'll be in Pittsburgh on Sunday ahead of the National Democratic Convention. That starts Monday.
A man is seriously hurt after a shooting in southeast Raleigh. Police say the man was combative to first responders as they arrived at the scene on Campanella Lane near Dandridge Drive just before 8 last night. Video from the WRO breaking news tracker shows officers restraining the man so they can get him to the hospital. We're working to learn more about what led to the shooting and whether police have made an arrest.
Happening this morning, the city of Durham will announce a new fund that benefits nonprofits that help local youth. City leaders hope that this will help reduce crime. Youth crime and young victims of crime have been a major issue in Durham for years. So far this year, 22 people under the age of 18 have been shot in Durham. Now, we do know that 3 have been children 5 years old or younger, and we have also seen juvenile petitions filed on dozens of minors for everything from car break-ins to assault. Mayor Leonardo Williams is hoping more resources for nonprofits working with these young people could make a difference. The fund is a partnership with the United Way of the Greater Triangle and the Triangle Community Foundation. The announcement will be held at the Boys and Girls Club of Durham and Orange counties.
Police are trying to find 4 people who carjacked a person in Morrisville early Thursday morning. The car that was stolen was later found crashed in Morrisville, and that crash left a 16-year-old from Raleigh dead. Police say the 4 armed men stole the car from a person at gunpoint at the Camden Westwood Apartments in Morrisville. This was just before 2:30 yesterday morning. Officers started a chase, but then soon lost sight of the car. It was found crashed on South Miami Boulevard in Durham just before 5 in the morning. The 16-year-old who died was the only person in the car when it crashed. Police say this is a complex case since it spans 2 counties. The Morrisville police officer who was involved in the chase is now on administrative leave.
Kamala Harris's campaign is criticizing former President Donald Trump. That's because of a news conference in which he said he is, quote, entitled to make personal attacks against her. Trump spoke yesterday from his golf course in New Jersey. He was flanked by groceries and then talked about the increased cost of everyday items. Reporters asked him about criticism that he faced from some Republicans. They say he needs to avoid making personal attacks on Harris.
I think I'm entitled to personal attacks. I don't have a lot of respect for her. I don't have a lot of respect for her intelligence, and I think she'll be a terrible president.
In response, the Harris campaign called the news conference a, quote, stream of not much consciousness.
A passenger who was on board a flight that was forced to make an emergency landing at RDU is talking about his experience. Daniel Smith says he felt some shaking during his flight yesterday, but thought everything was fine until he smelled smoke. The smoke led to the diversion to RDU. Sky 5 was there as the plane finally touched down on the runway. The flight was headed to Connecticut when it was diverted to RDU.
New affordable housing is coming to Wilson. The city will hold a groundbreaking for the new Pender Crossing apartments this morning. It's a 48-unit affordable housing project that will be at the former Pender Street Park. The City Housing Authority will provide rental assistance for 25 units. In today's groundbreaking, that's at 10 a.m. A new round of ceasefire talks between Israel and Hamas is underway. The accusations from Hamas about how these high-stake negotiations are being handled.
Plus, the fight to keep Jordan Child's bronze medal, how U.S. officials are moving that fight forward as a Romanian gymnast gets her bronze medal today.
And weather-wise, what a nice start for us this morning. We had temperatures in the 60s across the area, even almost in the 50s in South Hill. We're going to walk through what to expect for today as far as our highs are concerned and rain chances for parts of the weekend coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
All right, time now is 6:13 here as we look ahead to our weekend. We're looking at a pretty good forecast, at least to start. I will say, though, get outside today if you want the lower humidity because that starts to filter back in tomorrow. We'll go for 90 to start the weekend, just a stray shower. It's not going to be a lot of coverage, though. Sunday at this point, temperatures are very similar, but we increase those rain chances mainly kind of off and on through the day. It, again, is not going to be a big organized system, but here's a look at Sunday at 7 a.m. Scattered showers there if you're up and out, let's say, for church services or just having that morning cup of coffee. You may encounter some of those. They're kind of off and on. You see, it's not a ton of rain just all day long. And I'll pause this here at lunchtime. Still, that chance is there. So if you do have any plans and you need a totally dry day, I would steer that more so toward our Saturday.
All new into the WRAL Traffic Center. We're just getting reports of an incident happening right now. The entrance ramp at East William Street at US 1 northbound there in the Apex area. Right now, we're not seeing any delays in that particular area, but you might see some police activity if you're getting ready to head out this morning. Elsewhere around the Triangle and surrounding communities, all the major roads are delay-free at this hour.
Ken, thanks. Efforts to try to reach a ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas are expected to continue today. International mediators from the U.S., Egypt, and Qatar met with an Israeli delegation in Qatar on Thursday. Hamas is not directly taking part in these talks. It accuses Israel of adding new demands to a previous proposal that Hamas has agreed to in principle. The talks come as Gaza health authorities say the Palestinian death toll from the war has topped 40,000. Hamas is still holding more than 100 hostages after the October 7th attack on Israel.
Gymnast Ana Barbosu will receive her Olympic bronze medal in an official ceremony in Romania today. This comes as U.S. Olympic officials have taken issue with the Court of Arbitration for Sport. They say the court sent crucial emails related to appealing the decision to strip Jordan Childs of the medal to the wrong email address. Well, Childs said in a statement yesterday that the decision felt unjust and was a significant blow. U.S. Olympic officials are still working to appeal that decision. This morning on Today, gymnast Ali Raisman talks about the scoring controversy and Childs' statement. You can learn more on that on Today starting at 7 on here, WRAL.
WRAL is your home for the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers will be at Bank of America Stadium for their next preseason game against the New York Jets. You can catch all the action right here on WRAL tomorrow night at 7.
This weekend is filled with comedy. It's filled with live music, too.
Yeah, let's start you off with some comedy as you're out and about. We have two great comedy shows coming up. First, Trey Kennedy is bringing his Grow Up tour to Durham Performing Arts Center. You might recognize him from his very popular social media videos. Tickets start at $28. Also, comedian actor Eddie Griffin is over at Raleigh Improv in Cary this weekend. He has 2 shows tonight and 1 on Saturday. Tickets start at $40.
And there are actually a few concerts happening this weekend, too. Tonight, you can enjoy some 1990s nostalgia at Booth Amphitheater in Cary. The Gem Blossoms, Toad the Wet Sprocket, and Vertical Horizon are all performing. Also tonight, the Glass Animals are bringing their tour of the earth to Coastal Credit Union Music Park at Walnut Creek in Raleigh. And at the Red Hat Amphitheater in Raleigh, Tate McRae is taking the stage tonight. Saturday night, Air Supply is at Durham Performing Arts Center, and Dan and Shay are over at Walnut Creek.
The 11th annual Carib Mass Carnival Parade and Festival Village is happening in downtown Raleigh tomorrow. It's going on from noon until 8 p.m. This event features parades, bands, food, and vendors. Admission is free. To find out more about these events and to see even more fun things to do this weekend, go to WRAL.com and search keyword out and about. And we'll see if the weather cooperates for all these fun events. So much to do.
Yeah, I love all the things that are available to do in this area, but the question is, a lot of people, okay, that's fun, but what is it going to look like outside? Now, I'm going to guess, Anthony, that's not going to look like a beautiful beachfront here locally, but still a nice way to start your morning.
Yeah, it's going to be deceptive, and that's why I wanted to start with this picture, because it actually may, as far as the weather's concerned, look okay, but the water itself, because of Ernesto well offshore, it's going to be pretty rough here. I think if you want to just get your beach relaxation in, hang out on the sand, it's going to be a good couple of days for that. We're not expecting any major rain or anything like that until potentially Sunday. There could be a couple more storms there. So that's what we're going to start off with. Let's talk about those rip currents. I highly encourage you, though, if you're headed out, the forecast is red. The flags are red, meaning don't go in the water. Always pay very close attention, though, to those flags. It stretches for our entire coast, and I know that's tempting. It's just not worth it here with this storm system offshore. Currently, the outer bands of it are about 550 miles offshore, and that says something there. It's 550 miles away, but it's going to push a lot of water here and cause some rough surf for us. There is Bermuda, though, so if we're feeling impacts, you can already imagine what Bermuda's going to feel. 100-mile-per-hour winds currently on this system, and there is the latest track. It does, unfortunately, take this in as a Category 2 hurricane into tomorrow morning for Bermuda. They're looking at some decent impacts there, and then it quickly races off to the north and east. After that system, though, we are quiet. Nothing on the horizon right now. Looking ahead, we may wrap up August on a quiet note, but September, that's when we start to head toward the peak of hurricane season. So we are by no means out of the woods quite yet. Back here at home, though, 90 for us tomorrow. Back to the humidity, 89 there on Sunday. Some scattered storms do start to return, mainly kind of off and on through the day on Sunday. It's not going to be a total drenching rain, but it's a cold front coming through that will set up for a really nice forecast next week, which I'll show you here in just a second. Upper 60s there around the triangle, 60 in South Hill. We're at 65 in Clinton. It's a very nice start. We're in that tolerable humidity level. I would argue it still feels actually decently comfortable across the area. Look at where we go from here, though. So those temperatures into the weekend, 90 for our Saturday. There are those rain chances on Sunday, just pretty scattered at best. And then that cold front comes through. Next week is going to be a really nice treat. We start to dry out. Monday, maybe just a few leftover storms. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Those days are going to be in the low 80s, below where we should be for this time of the year. Sunshine and low humidity, Ken. So that's something to look forward to next week.
All right, Anthony, at 6:20, we continue to monitor this situation that just happened on the entrance ramp there at East William Street on US 1 North. You can see the huge delays it's causing right now on US 1 North. I would recommend just getting off on East William Street and working your way over to 1010 Road as an alternate route to avoid this traffic delays that you're seeing right now at US 1 there at East William Street. Elsewhere around the Triangle and surrounding communities, all the major roads really in Durham and Chapel Hill, Wake County, all delay-free at this hour. Really quickly, let me take you outside and show you the north side of the Beltline. This is I-440 and Lake Boone Trail. Traffic flowing nicely in both directions.
Ken, thank you. What a beautiful sunrise right now in downtown Raleigh, right? Keep staying with us. Hurricane Ernesto has left thousands of people in Puerto Rico in the dark for the third day now. The efforts to restore power to the island as Bermuda prepares for the storm.
And breaking news, WRAL has been following all morning since this broke. The convicted murderer who escaped in Orange County earlier this week has been caught. We're bringing you details about where law enforcement tracked him down hours ago.
And here's a look at your winning lottery numbers.
It's What's Trending Report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
A rumored collaboration between Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars is now reality.
We may have been listening to it in the break. Ken Smith is here now with What's Trending.
Oh, yeah. At midnight, the pop stars released a duet called Die With a Smile. The vintage-themed music video features Mars playing guitar while Gaga is at a piano with a cigarette in her mouth.
And that blonde wig, like, that's Dolly Parton vibes right there. But they sound great together. Their voices, a lot of beautiful harmonies, a good hook. You know, individually, this is the first time that they've released a song in quite a while. Gaga hasn't released a song since 2020, and Bruno Mars is even longer in 2016. So what a treat to hear from them.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, Matt Damon and Casey Affleck rob a Dunkin', well, sort of, in a new ad promoting their movie, The Instigators. In the ad, they put bags over their hands and point at the cashier. Of course, the employee quickly sees through that ruse.
So I know this is all for, like, I don't know. I'm big on, like, perception and stuff. And I saw that and I was like, is that the strat to take for this ad? I don't know. Risky.
But they keep running on Dunkin'.
They keep running, they keep running on Dunkin'.
And the ads keep coming. Ken, thank you. Well, covering Wake County, the Salvation Army is hosting a back-to-school bash today for students in need of school supplies. More than 900 children are registered to receive free backpacks filled with school supplies. The event runs from 10 to 1 over at the South Hills Mall Plaza on Buck Jones Road.
After a days-long manhunt, a fugitive murderer has been captured nearly 2 hours from where he first escaped. We'll show you where he was and who is charged with helping him.
As we head into our Friday, we are dry, but if you do need to get some outdoor plans done this weekend, we're going to go over when those days may hold a chance of some rain coming up.
Vice President Kamala Harris is making a campaign stop in Raleigh today, when we expect her arrival and how the motorcade could affect your travel.